Hello. Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Pundit. We are going to discuss about what happened in the game week 7. And first of all, I have to say Arsenal are on the top of the Premier League table after 7 games. And there have been some results that have been really exciting and that has favorably helped Arsenal. One of the biggest one was when Crystal Palace defeated Liverpool last week, and now Chelsea have defeated Liverpool this weekend. So now Manchester United are cruising now. They have started to gain a bit of momentum with Sesko scoring as well. And there is a bit of gameplay shift on how Pep now works. So we are going to discuss all about this and going to deep dive into it. So let's get started. So now let me first walk you through the biggest game that has been there, which is Chelsea versus Liverpool. So now before we dive, let me share. So now let me move this to a different window. And why is it not coming up? Ideally, it should come up. Okay, people. So I'm new to live streaming. So these are the couple of things that will happen initially. And apologies for that. Let me try to find what is not working. I hope this helps. Yeah. Okay. So now we are good. After maybe some tips and tricks, it has now started to work. But before we get into this gaming related thing and what happened in game week 7, let me say a couple of things that I think that are important and that might shape how things are. So now first let me try to get myself in the middle of the camera because right now I'm trying to move a bit left, but I think I'm getting out of the frame. But let's see. I hope this is fine. So yeah, so where we were. So yeah, before we start the game, let's look at a couple of things. And one important thing that I have seen a shift, which I'm not sure if a lot of people are saying about that, but I have definitely seen is the change in the tactics from Pep Guardiola. And we will be discussing more about how Haaland is working on it and how it has improved his game as well, and something that he will definitely like more. But one thing that Pep has done this season is know that Pep's Barcelona, Pep's Bayern Munich, Pep's Manchester City, all of them are known for keeping the position of the ball. So they are known for suffocating the opponent, making sure that there is a very less position that are there with the opponent team. And most of the times they are the ones who are trying to get the ball from the Man City players or Bayern players or Barca players for that reason. But this season, I think since Pep has lost a couple of players, and with the loss of Kevin De Bruyne as well, like the most notably, and what he has done in order to make things work out for him is he has gone a bit defensive. He has removed his approach where he was going to dominate those games from the minute go, trying to suffocate the opponent team. And he has gone to trying to sit back a bit, maybe not as defensive as people will think, but he tries to sit back and hit teams on the counter. One important thing that we saw about this was, and I think this major shift happened after the Tottenham game. So in the Tottenham game, you know that Tottenham hit them on the counter, even Brighton hit them on the counter. And what Pep has done after that is he tries to sit a bit back and has started hitting teams on the counter. And we have seen a very fine example of this in the Manchester United game, where Manchester United, to be honest, they had close to 50% of possession. And this was initially, I was thinking like maybe Manchester United are playing really well. How are they even able to do that? They are able to dominate the ball, they are able to keep possession, they're even able to play in Manchester City's final third. Maybe Manchester City was having an off day, but that was not it. There is a shift of tactics that has happened. And Pep, for all the three goals, maybe not all the three, two of them, it was a counter attack. It was the moment Manchester United put in a loose ball, or there is a break that they make in terms of they intercept the ball and try to launch it quick, and they release Haaland very quickly. And I think that has happened. We saw this in Arsenal game as well, where Arsenal tried to dominate a bit early and they tried to put pressure. But the moment they intercepted the ball, there was a chance or a missed pass, or somehow they got the ball, they are very quick to release Haaland. And this is something that we are seeing more and more often now. So I think this season, at least, Pep has changed that tactics of instead of dominating the football, he's more inclined towards let's try to get the win. Let's try to sit back a bit and then hit the teams on the counter. They already have the players to do that. They have Doku, they have Haaland, they have amazing players who can put on that through ball as well. So I think this is something that after that game, you see that Pep has slowly started out grinding results as well. And he has improved, even though they are not scoring a lot of goals, at least for the last match they didn't do, but they have started getting that results back. So again, this was something that I wanted to share with all of you, because this is something that I noticed and I feel like this is something that maybe Pep has changed the style a bit, not his usual self, if I have to say. Now, this game, let's talk about this game. So, Chelsea versus Liverpool. Me, as an Arsenal fan, I was having all my fingers crossed just for a Chelsea win, just to make sure that we go on top of the table. And even if they can't get a win, at least get a draw, which to the most part of the game and for the last minute itself, it was looking like at least we'll get a draw and maybe we'll be top on the goal difference. But now we Chelsea have done it. And this was the first time where we saw at one point during the Chelsea vs Liverpool game, the four most expensive players in the Premier League history were on the pitch at the same time. And you know who all these four are. This is Caicedo, Enzo, Isak, and Florian Wirtz. Two for Chelsea, two for Liverpool. Now, in terms of the goal, I think all the three goals were amazing in their own way, but two of them were specifically absolutely brilliant. One of them was Moises Caicedo's screamer from outside the box, and I think you have already seen Van Dijk's meme that are there all over the internet. And I think this was something that definitely was absolutely amazing. And look at from where he takes this strike. I mean, just have a look at it from outside the box, an absolute screamer in the 14th minute of the game. And I think this gives, and till this point, it was looking like Liverpool were applying all the pressure, and it looked like that this was going to be another bad day for Chelsea. They might get a red card. They are known for getting red card these days. So, but irrespective of all that, against the run of play, it is Caicedo who hits Liverpool in the 14th minute of the game. After that, we have after that, okay, I didn't get that image, but after that what happens is there is a brilliant move. Now a lot of people, I'm still not sure. So in the second half, Isak finally switches it. He gets the cross, he switches the ball with a pass, which then again, like they go ahead and score from it. I think that was a brilliant move, but I don't know if it did it intentionally or if it was just a fluke. But nevertheless, it gave Liverpool 1-1, and I was still very happy until that point where it was 1-1. And I thought like, fine, like this is going to, if it even ends in a draw, I would be absolutely happy with it. And then what happens is then towards the end of the game, and this is an absolute blinder. 18-year-old Estêvão wins it for Chelsea in the stoppage time. Maresca ran at the touchline celebrating with the players. And I think this was something that was absolutely incredible to see, where you can see the emotions from Estevao, you can see the emotions from Maresca. I think incredible. And there was a 7 minute of added time. Well, because of the goal and the celebration, it went to 8-9 minutes. But Liverpool have known to score during in this stoppage time this season. They have won a lot of games scoring pretty late. And for the last two games, what has happened is they have now started like conceding in that extra time. It happened with Eddie Nketiah in the Crystal Palace game. Now it happened with Chelsea again, scoring at the 10th. But I think this was something that I absolutely loved it as an Arsenal fan. But again, if you're a Liverpool fan, you would have not liked it. I'm sure about that. But nevertheless, this gave Chelsea a big win at the Stamford Bridge. And again, like this also ended up getting Mariska a yellow card, and then it was a second yellow, and he got a red for it. So again, four red in four games for Chelsea. I think they are maybe on a different kind of streak. One thing that I wanted to share with you is Estevão's dramatic added time goal for Chelsea versus Liverpool saw 10 different Blues players involved in the move, which lasted only 28 seconds. And only one Premier League goal this season has involved all the 11 players, which is Rio Nguma. I'm butchering his name. I'm sorry for that. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think I will go with Rio. So let's go with Rio. So Rio, that was the goal where Liverpool scored towards the end of the game with the last minute potentially in the Newcastle game. And that was the game where all the 11 players had a touch. And one of my friend is there, Arsenal Forever. Thank you for that, Arsenal Forever as well. And Estevão's dramatic added time goal for Chelsea again, that saw like 10 different Blues players involved in the move, which lasted 28 seconds. I think let me show you this image. It starts from the back where it starts from the keeper, then it travels, and then there is a switch that happens to the left hand side, and then we know that move, and then finally Estevão with the finish, like towards the end of the move. I think this was simply amazing. And if you have to say, let me show you the stats as well. I think this font is, I think this should be pretty okay. So in terms of the position and the game control, I think 53 to 47, which is perfectly fine. Expected goal, I think Liverpool had better chances, if I have to say, but it was Chelsea who took them. They had, in terms of shots, it was pretty even, 12 to 12. Shots on target, 6 to 2. Big chances, Liverpool created 4 and Chelsea created 2. In terms of passing, 422 passes from Chelsea to 370 passes from Liverpool. And again, fouls, 9 to 8. Corners, 7 to 2. So I think the game was pretty even in that way. But I think Liverpool could have scored. There was a lot of chances that Salah got, but instead of passing the ball or crossing the ball, he started taking the shot. So that didn't help Liverpool at all. Now let's jump to the game for the Manchester United fans. This is the, I think this was a pretty good game for United. First of all, a debut for Sen Lamens. I think that was an like good debut for him. I think that will give him some confidence and some confidence to the maybe the Premier League, not maybe to the Manchester United fans as well, because they have been seeing Onana, Bayern concede goals, not looking good at crosses, not collecting the balls, not looking good at stopping the shot. Now, even though like he didn't had much to do, but whatever he had to, he dealt with it pretty good. And I think that was an amazing debut for St. Lamens, I have to say, with a clean sheet as well. So I think that will give him some confidence. But I need to talk about this goal from Mason Mount. I think this is a terrific finish, and I think a good move from Buemo as well. But this score, I mean, if you see this goal, it had an XG of 0.08. So it was almost close to that. It cannot be a goal. But Mount, finally, he breaks that deadlock with this beautiful finish. And I think this is something that Manchester United fans would really like to see a bit more coming from Mount. I know he has been injury prone. There has been a lot of things that has been happening in terms of injury, and he always plays maybe a couple of games and then he's back injured. So I think maybe a good run of games would definitely help him. I think Amorim has full confidence on him because whenever he is fit, he definitely gives him the chance. But let's see how he pitches that out, because there is one more problem that Manchester United, personally to me, that I see is they have 4 number 10s, if I have to say. They have Bomo number 10, they have Cunha number 10, Bruno number 10, Mount number 10. All of them are number 10. And he's already playing with 2 number 10. So for me personally, I would love to see Bruno come a bit forward and maybe Mainu placed maybe with Casemiro or Ugarte or anybody like that. I'll prefer Casemiro. Ugarte, to be honest, like I don't feel like he is that level of player for Manchester United. So, and one of my friend has saying like Lamens is like a fresh of breath air for United. we have our own Peter Schmeichel now. I think maybe you're going way too ahead, but let's see, let's see. Hopefully. But I think maybe calling Peter Schmeichel, I think that's maybe a bit too much for now. But let's see. I think at least that one thing that he said was, I think, absolutely correct. I think breath of fresh air, because I think they have been like, I think that has not helped them watching Onana and Bayern every game for the like last season and maybe starting of this season as well. So I think this is something that is definitely going to help, and it will only improve. I mean, this will only improve his confidence with clean sheet and how he played. Uh, which two numbers 10s will you start for United against Liverpool? I think like personally, if I have to go with like one, like again, even if I'm an Arsenal fan, there is like, in the dying world of number 10s, if you have to say, like now nobody plays with too much of number 10s, they play with left-sided 8 or right-sided 8 and things like that. But in the dying world of number 10, I think Bruno Fernandes, irrespective of maybe his things that he does on the pitch about moaning at the referee and all that, I personally absolutely adore him as a number 10, one of the best attacking midfielders there, at least in the best in the Premier League for sure. But to make him play in a defensive line just next to Garte or Casemiro, like a deep lying center midfielder, I don't think that suits his game potentially, because he's the one who can switch a play, give a through ball, give a cross, and shoot, create chances. So he can do all that, and but he cannot do that from a very deep playing role. So I think number one that I will start is Bruno on top, and I think the second one I'll go with Boomer. Boomer, I think he has impressed me, to be honest. He is very hardworking, a very good on the ball, a very physical player who cannot be shaken off easily. His runs, runs that he makes, I think that is good as well. So I'll start with them. I mean, bring Cunha, bring Mount, bring other people as needed, but I think I'll start with at least putting Bruno maybe a bit off front, and maybe putting Mainu in Bruno's position, if that helps, because Mainu can carry the ball as well. Maybe what United fans would have loved is maybe Baleba and other players, but at least Mainu can do that job. He's good at the ball. He's good, has a good passing range. He can drive with the ball. So I think let's not put at least Bruno Fernandes there. So you're saying drop Mount, who's favorite of Amorim. Yeah, I think hopefully, but at least you can bring him from the bench. But I think now that he has scored this worldly, I don't think he's going to be get dropped. So I definitely think that he's going to start against Liverpool. But if it was me, I would have started Bruno instead of Mount, at least in that place in number 10. Again, you cannot put Mount there in the deep lying midfielder role, because I don't think that suits his game, and I don't think how good he will be at that position. So, but I think Maino should be a good option there. So with that, again, this was an absolute, like, it had a 0.08 chance of scoring. Again, a bonus to assist. I think there's a lot of thing that has gone missed with all the hype around Sesko. Sesko is scoring this, Sesko is scoring that. But I think one of the most influential player for United this season, maybe he's not that consistent, at least as of now, but I think the impact that he has is Brian Buemo. I think he is the most hardworking, maybe if not the most, at least like one of the most hardworking and one of the most influential player. He already has had a couple of assists, a goal, and I think he looks the best signing as of now. I think Sesko can improve, Cunha can improve, and things can change. But at least as of now, it's Buemo for me. And Sesko finally, with all the trolling and all the things that were happening on social media, it will be finally settled. He now has 2 back-to-back goals for Manchester United. So I think this will definitely help in confidence. And there is one thing that I personally think about, because Gyökeres is struggling at Arsenal, Sesko is struggling at Manchester United. So, and if you have to say, maybe you can say Isak is struggling at Liverpool as well. Florian Wirtz is struggling at Liverpool as well. So the only thing that I have to say is, let's give the players some time. Let's not quickly adjust to a narrative where he's a failure or he's a mediocre player. Let's give it some time, at least till Christmas. And that will give you a good amount of good run of games, that then you can finally judge, okay, has the player settled in? Has the player adapted? Is the player influential? Because one thing that I personally feel, if I have to compare, again, like I personally think that Gyökeres is a far better player than Kai Havertz. But one thing that you have to understand is, whenever I have seen Kai Havertz play, you will, in a particular game, you will always see him ending up with a brilliant chance. like out of nowhere, you'll see him. Kai Havertz is almost through and through. Kai Havertz is almost has the ball in front of the goalkeeper or maybe in the D area with a very good chance to take a shot. But you don't see that with Gyökeres. So I think some of the things that Kai Havertz had in advantage was his moves. Again, not his finishing. Maybe apart from the header was good from him, but not his finishing, no shot power. But I think that things will gradually come to Gyökeres as well. It's a new team, and we tend to don't play on the shoulders of the defenders, so we don't put a lot of through balls. What we generally do is maybe suffocate the team and the fans as well, because I get suffocated as well watching Arsenal play at times, switching from right flank to left flank to right flank, and maybe with all the backward passes. So that's pretty boring. And for a striker who is not getting any room or a creativity or any balls like that, I think that suffocates your courage as well. But let's be honest, like whatever he has got, he has not done good with it. I have to say that. But I'll keep my fingers crossed. And the same thing happens with Sesko as well. The more games he's played, the more he adapts, he will start getting better and better. And we have already seen that happening. So good. I mean, good result for Manchester United and a good opportunity for him that he scored. So that hopefully that will give him some confidence. So in the game, let's look at the game. I think it was a 50-50. I think Sunderland are playing well this season with the amount of signings they have done. They have done a huge number of signings with Granit Xhaka back in the Premier League. So they are playing well. They are grinding out results. Some of the results they have been pretty comfortable with. But this one was a tough, like an away fixture at Old Trafford. It was never going to be easy. And United, even though like they had 50-50 positions, like they didn't create much chances, if I have to say. It was not like, oh my God, that was a chance. How did they miss that? So there was one penalty shout that happened, but it was never a penalty for me. He never touched the ball. So I don't know how it would have been even given. But so in terms of the XG, it was 1.84 to 0.71. Total shots 15 to 8. Shots on target 6 to 3. Big chances 2 to 2. And big chances missed, I think 1 and 2. And accurate passes, I think 351 accurate passes to 341 from Sunderland. I think this is like this pretty evenly distributed. Balls committed 10 to 12, corners 2 to 3. So I think the game was pretty even, but a massive result for Manchester United nonetheless. And one of my friend is also saying Sesko was really good against Sunderland. I think he was, I think definitely. And I think he's slowly, what we are seeing is that he's getting into the rhythm of the game, maybe a rhythm of Manchester United, rhythm of the Premier League, because Premier League is a very different to Bundesliga, and that will take its own time. And I think that is something that we are seeing with Florian Wirtz as well, where he gets the ball, but he's quickly marked down. He has to play a bit quicker in the Premier League. He won't get that much amount of time on the ball that he used to get in the Bundesliga. Second of all, in Bundesliga, a lot of people play with a very high line and a defensive high line, and that doesn't happen in the Premier League. Most of the people, they will, even the small teams, they will suffocate you. They will try to hit you on the counter. They will not leave you much gaps that you can play through balls or passes to break the lines. So I think this was a very good result for Manchester United. And I think maybe not me, but maybe Manchester United fans or Amorim, they would have certainly loved to play Liverpool this week rather than the international break and then going on the other week. So I think this was something that I think they would have personally loved it, because right now they have a bit of confidence. Liverpool are on the on the downside. They looked a bit shaken with the 3 defeats that has happened. So I think they would have absolutely loved to, play Liverpool right now. The team looks pretty much in form, with Liverpool maybe having a lot of question marks around their defending and their attack as well, even though having signed Ekiteke, Isak, Florian Wirtz, 3 brilliant attacking players. So, but yeah, nonetheless, that is not going to happen. So they will definitely get that break. And I don't think that's I don't think that's good for United, because I think in that break, Slot will really drill down a lot of things, change some things, or maybe correct some things that is not going well for them, and it will become a bit difficult for United if it after the international break. At least this game for sure. Otherwise, I would have thought that if it happens in quick succession, maybe this week, this weekend, I think United would have absolutely crushed it. But let's see what happens. But I think it's a massive game again. But again, a massive win for United. So I think let's give Amorim its own time. My friends are there. They will be like saying about let's give Amorim some time. I don't know. Like initially, all of them were Amorim in. Not one of them. One of my friend was always Amorim out. He doesn't like any manager who has a bit of tactics or who wants to play a certain style. He's not up for that. He only wants the player who can play with the vibe. So he was Amrim out before even Amrim got in. But yeah, most of the others, they were a bit Amrim in. Right now, you know, a lot of question marks around the consistent performance, that if he can deliver or not. But let's see. We'll see. I think he will definitely get time till Christmas. And right now, if you have to, like, there's one thing I wanted to show you. So let me see if I can pull that up. So um, let me see. So United right now, so they are on 10th. And if you see the Arsenal who are on top, they are on 16. So there is not much gap. If you have to say, like, there are 6 points gap after 7 games, it's not a massive gap. And it's just 6 points. And if, again, like, this would sound a bit weird if I have to put it like this, but if you see, if Bruno Fernandes, maybe if he missed the penalties, but if he would have scored, United would have 4 more points, and 4 more points put them in the third position. Maybe not in the third position, because they have, okay, they have -2 goal difference. No, not in the third, maybe fourth, definitely fourth. No, not even fourth. Bournemouth also have plus goal difference. Okay, fifth, definitely fifth for sure. So, one of my friends is saying Gyökeres is a scam. I think all the players who are outside from the Premier League, they join the Premier League, they are a scam. So I'll agree with that. So you can only bet your luck if you're getting a player from outside the Premier League. But even the so Gyökeres is scam. But even the players who are from inside the Premier League, they are not pulling up any strings as well. So what about Cunha? I'm not saying anything about Cunha from you. You are saying a lot of things about Gyökeres, but I'm not saying anything about Cunha, a player from the Premier League. Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, so let me get back. Okay, so we did discuss the Manchester United one, and yeah, so we are happy with our Sesko. Don't want somebody running on the pitch around wearing jeans. But we definitely, like, we have to agree. Like, he runs a bit weird. Not like, I mean, like, if after Sterling, I have to say somebody who runs weird is maybe Gyökeres. Wanna be Bane, then he should be the manager. Register correction. And one thing I told this to my friend actually, but one thing that I wanted to maybe share this. So one of my friend, he plays FIFA a lot. I mean, he plays the league games and everything. And there was one interesting thing that he did long back. I mean, not long back, last season he used to do that. And he used to play with, no, last to last season. And he used to play with, this is again, maybe I'm going a bit out of context, but I'll come back to it. So what he used to do, what he used to play with Dembele. So he had Dembele card in his foot team. And he used to play with Dembele on the strike. And me, one other of my friends, we used to say, like, Dembele is good on the wings, he has pace, why are you playing him on a strike? And he's like, no, like, Dembele's finishing is good, he has a, like, a 5-star weak foot and everything. And he used to score a lot of goals for him. And I'm like, why are you playing him on the striker part? You play him on the wing, put somebody proper striker, like, for the front, on the front. And but he never used to do that. Like, I used to change the position and then play with Dembele on the left, but he used to always play with keeping Dembele as a striker. And last season, the manager, I mean, I have to say, Luis Enrique, he played Dembele as striker and won all the cups. So definitely, like, I have to give him that. Like, that was amazing for me to see that my friend who has, like, maybe very little footballing brains, but he did that and he grinded out results as well. And Luis Enrique, you know what he did with PSG, Ballon d'Or winner now. So yeah. So coming back to this, let's go with uh, Arsenal's game. Again, this was a very important win for Arsenal because of what happened maybe last week with Liverpool and the result that happened with Chelsea for Liverpool. But this is something that I have to say, like, even though, like, Arsenal absolutely bore me, I think for the last 2 games, it has become a bit better from the previous games. But, like, most of the times I get absolutely bored. And I was discussing this with my friend that maybe I should start doing watch alongs and things like that. But what will I do in the watch along for Arsenal? I'll just say Saka passed to Zubimendi, Declan Rice passed it backwards, Declan Rice, Gabriel makes the most amount of pass. Gabriel and Saliba. What am I going to talk on the watch now? So that is something that is questionable. But anyways, so we don't create a lot of chances, and when we create, we don't strike them. So this was one chance for Eberechi Esse, which he missed from maybe from the penalty spot. I don't know how he missed that, but he missed it. And this chance alone had an XG of 0.76, which he missed. So make sense. But I am definitely happy with Eze. He is a far attacking number 10 than what we have right now. Odegaard is a bit of a player who maintains that control on the game, but Eze is like the moment he gets the ball, he wants to go forward. And that's something that I personally like. Now, the bad news that happened in the Arsenal game was Martin Odegaard in the first player in the history of the Premier League to be subbed off before halftime in 3 straight league starts. And this is not looking good. We got further news on that where our captain, which was confirmed, Martin Odegaard has sustained a medical collateral ligament injury and to his left knee and has been withdrawn from the Norway national team for the upcoming matches. Odegaard will continue to be assessed and treated by Arsenal's medical team at, I don't know why they have to write this Shobha Reality Training Center. They can just write training center, but you know how that goes. So medical team and at Shobha Reality Training Center during the international break with the aim of return to action as soon as possible. Now, the second part is a bit confusing with the aim of return as soon as possible. What does as soon as possible mean? For me, it can be maybe just after the international break, or maybe after it can mean 2 months. I have no clue what that means, but hopefully he comes back soon because after a lot of time, I finally started to see Odegaard performing well. He was, when short cameo, he was very influential against Newcastle. He was the one who put in that corner. In the game against Olympiacos, he was the man of the match for that amazing performance. And again, he was injured in the first 30 minutes. So I don't know what I have to say for this game, but hopefully he's back soon. But again, not a good result. I mean, not a good news for the Arsenal team. Now, something that incredible that happened was now Bukayo Saka has reached a milestone. This was his 200th appearance, and now he has 100 goals and assists, so goal involvements for Arsenal. 55 goals and 45 assists. Absolute star boy. So I think he is again back to, hopefully he remains fit. He already got a problem in his right leg with a thigh injury. And then now he has it on the left as well. So hopefully, I think we should manage his game. And I think that is what Arteta is trying to do right now. He tries to bring him on sub, rotate him around 70th minute, which I think is good because we don't have, if the games are not that important, we are not losing or things like that. I think it's definitely required for Saka to be rotated so that he stays fit because we already have a lot of players injured. We have Odegaard injured, Noni Madhvik injured, Kai Havertz injured, Gabriel Jesus injured. Then we have a couple of other. We have Norgard injured. We have Hincapié injured. Ben White just came back. Odegaard again went back, getting injured. So yeah. So and at least 3 or 4 of them will be starters if they are fit. But I think this was a massive result for Arsenal, and like kudos to Arteta. Like one thing that you have to understand is even though there have been a lot of question marks around like how Arsenal have started this season, but one thing that you need to understand is Arsenal have played more difficult games. So the first game was Manchester United at Old Trafford, a very difficult fixture. Now, even though Manchester United have not been performing well for the last couple of seasons, Old Trafford has not been a favorable ground for Arsenal. We have not gone and won at that ground often. Like if you have to look back, maybe the stats of 15 seasons, you will hardly see us winning and hardly getting us a draw. So it is not a favorable ground for Arsenal at all. And getting a 1-0 win, I think as small as the goal was, a massive win. Liverpool, again, I think how we played that game, I think there are still question marks why we played so defensively. We could have, how people are saying, maybe just remove the handbrake. So again, it's absolute worldly of a free kick from Szoboszlai that got them the winner. Man City, so we have played United away, Man City away, Newcastle away. Again, they are not top 6, but Newcastle away is a very difficult fixture. Is not going to be easy for a lot of teams. So Liverpool already struggled there. They got a last minute winner. So did Arsenal. And it is not going to be easy for a lot of teams to go there and grind out a result at St. James Park. Then we played Manchester City. So we have played at least, maybe if you have say top three, and then Newcastle as well. So let's get. So one of my friend, let's see, was a Mr. Pandit do a Gayekr's celebration. I actually like before the game I got a haircut, and like I used some hair bands to put this a bit up so that I can do like this. Okay, like this. So he's my friend is saying, "Oh yeah, Gayekr's celebration," but I don't have that much of hair. He has a lot of hair, and I will try to save whatever I have with me. So yeah, so this was with Arsenal. Again, Kai versus Gyökeres, I think that's a very debatable point. Like, will I think personally, if Kai would have scored more goals, at least would have started. But I have my fingers crossed for Gyökeres. Let's go with Gyökeres. Kai is all bulked up by AI. Yes, the edits were insane. Yeah. So, in terms of the game stats, um, I think we dominate most of the game. We generally do dominate games, but it's just that our finishing and the final third things, I think that has still a lot of question marks around it. So we had 2.77 xg in terms of scoring goals, and then we had like I mean the other team had 0.49. West Ham did look good at some phases of the game, but again they were not clinical. And plus we have very good defense as well, so it's not that easy. So total shots 21 is to 4. Shots on target again 5 to 0. Big chances 4 to 2. Big chances missed 2 to 2. Passes 498 from Arsenal to 210 from West Ham. Fouls committed 14 to 14. I think that was pretty evenly distributed. Corners again, Corner Kings, Corners FC. We have got 8 corners. But like the good news is we didn't score from any of them. Otherwise, that whole meme thing would have started running again. So let's go to this game. Again, this is something that I started off with saying, where I personally feel that Pep has changed his tactics, at least after the Tottenham and Brighton game, where he's not going forward, not trying to dominate the play, which he used to do with City, Bayern, and Barca. He's not doing that. He's most likely trying to maintain a bit of flow, but play on the counter attack. And if you have to see, you have to see the game of Manchester United, where even though Manchester United were playing well and they were trying to control the ball, they were trying to play in Manchester City's half. The moment they lose a ball, the moment there is a bad pass, or the moment Manchester City intercept a play, they quickly put it through for Haaland, and Haaland is always ready for that through ball, for that attack, for just to play him. So he's always, if you see him right now, playing on the shoulders of the defenders, just waiting for that through ball, just waiting for that killer pass to be placed. Either if it's a like long ball, it through, or maybe it's dribbled out and then put it for him. So I think that has something that's definitely changed, and that hurt Manchester United because 2 of the goals that he scored were on the counter. That hurt on in the Arsenal game as well, where even though Arsenal were applying so much of pressure early on, the moment one bad pass, one mistake from Arsenal, and City put Haaland through. And again, he's a clinical finisher, so he's not going to miss much one-on-ones, unlike Gyökeres and Sesko and other people. So there is no question on that. So he definitely, I think that has something that has definitely changed for Pep this year. And if you have to see, now he has 18 goals in 11 games. And like again, this is like with comparison to the international and domestic. So 2 against Wolves. He was the only game that he hasn't scored is Tottenham, where they got defeated 2-0. Scored 1 against Brighton, 1 Finland, 5 goals and 2 assists against Moldova, 2 against Manchester United, once against Napoli, 1 against Arsenal, 2 goal, 1 assist against Burnley, 2 goal against Monaco, and 1 goal against Brentford. Absolutely killer form that he's in right now. And I think this is something that is helping him as well, because most of the time Manchester City, when they suffocate the like opponent team in trying to play in the opponent team's area, Haaland doesn't get that kind of service. So he still ends up scoring a lot of goals, but he doesn't get that service. Right now, since they are playing on the counter, playing on the moment the opponent lose the ball or they intercept and counter attack, I think that's something that suits his style of play, where he can play on the shoulder of the defenders and just run on the goal. And the most league goals scored in the Europe top 5 leagues so far this season is 11 in 6 games. Absolutely insane. Harry Kane is killing it in Bayern. So one of my friend, he he does support Bayern as well, but he's a like Manchester United fan, and I think he will be absolutely loving it with the Bayern goals. So 6 games, 11 goals for Harry Kane, 7 games, 9 goals for Haaland, and 8 games and 9 goals for Mbappe. And the good thing is, I think it was good that Gyökeres won that trophy at the Ballon d'Or ceremony for the most amount of goals, because he's not going to win that next year with Arsenal, with the kind of game that we play and with the kind of creativity and chances that we supply for the strikers. He is not getting anywhere close to that. So I think it was good that Gyökeres won something. So again, yeah. So this is, I think, all the 3 clinical players. I would love to see Gyökeres here, hopefully. So this is the same thing. Like 18 from Kylian Mbappe, 14, Haaland 12. So top scorers in all competitions from Europe, top 5 leagues. Julian Alvarez 7, Luis Diaz like is killing it. And I think this is something that is hurting Liverpool right now, because Luis Diaz was the one who could pick the ball from a very like maybe in its own half and then drive with the ball, dribble past a couple of players, and then release the ball finally for maybe Salah, whoever is the striker. But right now they don't have that kind of player. And I think that is troubling him because they're playing Capco right now in that position, and Capco is not Luis Diaz. So, but yeah, Luis Diaz with 6 goals. Then there is one guy from Frankfurt, Dortmund. Ansu Fati is also having a good season, and so is Marcus Rashford. Marcus, I think, best Barca player right now. So, yeah. So now let's go. Yeah. So let's go to the biggest game that is going to happen just after the international break, which is Manchester United traveling to Anfield. And now I think this is going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. Right now, it's not going to be easy. So if you have to look at the what has Liverpool have lost their last 3 games in all competition, and they play Manchester United next. And so they have lost to Chelsea, again, Galatasaray and Crystal Palace. And I think this lot of things are there for Arne Slot and Amarim for this game. And I think even if he gets a draw there, I think that would be absolutely incredible. But how Amarim likes to play is a bit in his own style, so he will not go defensive and try to play on counter, which I think will suit this game for sure if he plays on the counter, because he has a lot of pace going forward. Sesko is one of the like fastest player. Buemo is quick. Ahmad is quick, so he has a lot of pace. Cunha is also quick as well, so he has a lot of pace. But I don't know if he will play on the counter. But let's see. So is Malay here as well? Is something to do? No, yeah, Malay would be absolutely loving it right now with Bayern. So one of my friend Anisha, she has said, did you get the soundproofing thing? No, I haven't got the soundproofing thing, but I think this is something that I wanted to ask you. Are you hearing the background noises? I did some manipulations on the I did change some of the settings on the mic. I'm not sure if that has helped or if you can still hear the background music. If you can hear the background noise, do let me know. I'll tweak a bit of the settings as well, recalibrate it. But hopefully, I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll have to hear my recording as well just to see if that helped. So, a lot of things on the game. Let's see what happens. I would be hugely in for a Manchester United win because that will put more pressure on Liverpool, get us a bit of breather. So, but let's see. No, not going to be easy for United. And yeah, this is something that I wanted to bring up because again, by like Barca had a like terrible loss like yesterday where they lost to Sevilla 4-1. I mean, like they cannot even slip 1 or 2 games because Real are putting so much of pressure there. So, but anyways, so they lost 4-1. But again, you have to see this. Rashford scored 1 goal. He's assisted 1 goal against PSG, assisted 1 goal against Real Sociedad, assisted 1 goal against Real Ovidio. So I think he is really playing well. And I think this is something that I personally feel suits the system because Marcus Rashford has never been the player who will be able to like when the team has a lot of positions. So suppose a team like Manchester City or maybe a team like Arsenal where they dominate most of the ball and they try to put in those intricate passes towards the opponent's D area to put it through, to put a slide a pass. I mean, that kind of game doesn't maybe benefit Marcus Rashford. He's the kind of player who likes to run or maybe play on the shoulder of the defenders. The moment you hit him with a through, he can run, he can like go on the goal and score. And I think that is with as Flick plays with the high line, very fast tempo game. I think that's what suits him, and I think that would have suited with Liverpool and Klopp style as well, because they play very high tempo games. So like credit to Marcus Rashford, where credit is due. I think that would have at least made a lot of people silent. Now let me see what is left. Yeah. So with that, I think we are towards the end of the session with Arsenal on top with not much of a gap, 1 point. Tottenham are playing well as good as well. So Thomas Flick, I think he is doing an incredible job there. I think they have not been able to sign a lot of players that they would have wanted. Some of them Arsenal snatched, some of them other teams snatched. So the kind of players that he would have liked, he has not got. So, but I think he's still doing a good job. And Bournemouth, I mean, I'm forgetting the name of the player, Semenyo. I mean, incredible player. Like what a performance, what a season is he's having right now. So again, Manchester City on fifth. I think they are now slowly coming back to their old form, but this time playing on the counter attack. So let's see what happens in the like post the international break. Hopefully, good results for Arsenal, good, and maybe making fingers crossed for Manchester United so that they can beat Liverpool and put the gap and make it a bit easier for us. So let me lastly check the uh, uh, chat. So I know he isn't. He will never know. I heard Gochujang screaming. Okay, yeah. So even I heard like some of the people live with a lot of background noise. So I'll make sure I'll try to see if I can tweak the settings a bit more. But let's see how that goes. But I think it's until unless somebody like absolutely screams in the house, I think this is going to be okay. So with that, like that's the video then and there, people. Thank you so much for joining in, and I will meet you in the next video. Most probably tomorrow. I'll try to do it again, and I'll see you in the next one. Like till then, thank you and take care. Bye.